Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. So I am trying out a new angle today. Let me know what you guys think. I honestly have so many cool angles that are possible in my setup, so I might be switching things up from time to time to show you around. I may try to figure out how to shoot an office tour slash shelf tour in the future. The filming of that and the execution of the video kind of intimidates me, but it would be pretty fun. So let me know if that's something you would like to see. But what brings us here today is probably going to be the final, looking forward to the new year type video I have. Unless you see like a super cool tag video that you really want me to do, tag me in it, let me know. But otherwise, I think we might have really been there already because I showed you guys all the standalones that I'm making it my personal goal to read in 2023. Like Hell or High Water, I'm reading those books. And also I made a list of series that I'm really excited for trying next year. So that kind of wraps it up. I'm going to talk a little bit about rereads and continuing series today. But yeah, I'm not saying it'll necessarily be my last video of the year, but it might be because we're hosting family for the next several days. And I'm not really sure what, now through the 31st is going to look like for me. But I'm really excited to just keep looking forward to next year. I just love looking into the future. As far as my wrap-up content goes, I will probably do most of that in January. Because truth be told, I'm still reading like 2 books right now that could potentially be on a top 10 list. And so I'm just going to save all of my wrap-up content for 2022 for when 2022 is actually over. So today's video, like I said, I'm going to go over some plans, some goals, and just let you know a few other things I plan on reading and just what the general vibe is going to be moving forward. So first and foremost, starting January 6th, that goes January 6th through February 6th, I am a team leader for a readathon that is taking place in the Keymark Discord. So I'm going to leave links below for everything you need to know about that. I did a video that was just kind of a short announcement, but there's also some links that will take you to frequently asked questions, to the Keymark Discord, and just, everything you need to know, the link for signing up. It's going to be really, really fun, and I'm excited that that's how I get to start my new year, by doing a group activity that it has a lot of excitement and buzz going on around it, and I just think it'll be a great way, a great note, a great tone to start the year off with. So if you're at all interested in that, or if you have any questions about it, please reach out and let me know. I think it's going to be so fun, and I think it's going to be like the more the merrier kind of thing. So I'm so excited that Andy asked me to be a part of that, because I'm just really looking forward to starting the year doing something really, really fun and making new friends. So, like I said, I did a video talking about standalones for next year. I did a video talking about series for next year. But let me talk for just a minute about rereads, because I do plan to do a lot of rereads next year, and I'm really looking forward to each and every one of them. So the first one I'm doing is I'm rereading the first 3 Red Rising books on an official scheduled read-along over at Mike's Discord, and that one is going to be 1 book a month, and I'm super excited for a couple of reasons. First of all, because like I said, I don't want to overload myself with scheduled buddy reads or read-alongs, but I don't mind sprinkling one in every now and then, because I still like them. Like I said, I don't want them to dominate. I don't want them to overtake my whole life in TBR, but I do still have the desire to do them. So I'm excited to start the year off with a really fun read along with a bunch of people I'm familiar with, but also there's a lot of new people joining in. I'm excited to reread them because I need to reread them. I feel like I've forgotten more about them than I remember, even though the parts I remember are very memorable, if that makes sense at all. I remember that I love it, and I remember why, but I'm like, I need to be refreshed. And then I'm also excited because I only read the first 3, and we're going to continue all the way through everything that's been published and lead up to the new release, which would be book 6 coming out, and I guess it would be, what's month 6? June? So I'm really excited for that one. I'm also going to go ahead and you guys can throw rotten vegetables at me or something if you want to, but I am owning this. I have no regrets. In fact, it's one of the things I'm most excited about. I am going to be rereading The Realm of the Elderlings, starting with Farseer, of course, and we're doing one book a month. Initially, this is, again, another organized read-along that's going on, one book a month in Mike's Discord, and I'm a moderator over there, and obviously I'm a huge Robin Hobb fan, so I always planned on moderating that read-along and just kind of going on the journey with everybody. And then enough people were like, you should just reread it with us. And I've said this before, I'll say it again, but the way that Farseer ends is so satisfying and such an amazing full circle moment that more than any other series I've ever finished it, as soon as I was done with the last one, I thought, I cannot wait to reread this, specifically Farseer. So I'm really excited. I'm committing to Farseer because it's the one that I want to reread the most, but I imagine I will read the entire Realm of the Elderlings with them as they do one book a month. And I know they're big books, but I'm very excited. But like I said, I'm committing to Farseer, and I'm just going to kind of see how I feel from there on out, because I did read all of the rest of them, Live Ship Traders through the final trilogy, all last year. So I'm going to commit to Farseer, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the Realm of the Elderlings. But I'm very, very excited to revisit the Six Duchies already. A couple of other rereads that I'm very excited for. I'm doing Harry Potter for the first time in a very long time. I mean, like a very, very long time. I reread several of the books a few times, but I haven't done a complete read-through in probably 15 years. So I'm very excited for this. The tentative plan right now is one book a month, but honestly, I'm just going to kind of, just do what feels right. I have a handful of friends who are going to be reading them with me, starting right about now or in January. But we haven't really made solid plans on what we're doing, and we're all pretty chill with each other. So I think we'll just kind of read those as mood permits, and I'm very excited for them. As you can see, I have an amazing set behind me. Those are the dust jackets from Nerdy Ink. And if you guys ever want me to do like a video and like show you those, I would be happy to do that and just completely plug Nerdy Ink, because I have never been in anything but pleased and blown away, honestly, by the designs they come out with, but also the quality of their stuff, and it's priced like super, super reasonably. So yeah, quick plug for Nerdy Ink. They're awesome. But anyway, I'm very excited to read for the first time with those cool dust jackets. A Song of Ice and Fire. You guys know that I started rereading that last year, but Johanna's doing a really big reread and read along, and they're starting that in January. So they're going to catch up to where I left off in April. So I'm going to resume that. So that's on the plans. And then later in the year, as mood permits or whatever, my schedule, I'm going to be rereading The First Law, at least the first trilogy, but I'd like to reread all of them, and also Lord of the Rings. I'm very overdue for a Lord of the Rings reread as well. So is it going to be the year of rereads? I mean, maybe a little bit, but I have lots of new stuff planned as well. Like, I don't think this is going to dominate my schedule, but I do think I'm going to probably do 1 or 2 reread type books a month, and I'm honestly very, very excited for it. Really looking forward to just revisiting things that I love. So I'm actually not headed into 2023 with too many unfinished open-ended series. So the ones that I have on the docket to continue are, of course, Red Rising, like I mentioned before, because I've only read through book 3 and there are 5 currently published. Legends of the First Empire. I am going to finish that. I wasn't wild about it. Like, you guys know that I had so much fun with Rhaenyra Revelations and Rhaenyra Chronicles in 2021. In fact, it was my number 1 spot, like my favorite thing I read all year. You can watch that video if you want to. Like I said, is it the best thing I read all year? Probably not, but I had so much fun with Royce and Hadrian that it just made it my favorite thing I read in all of 2021. So I had really high expectations going into Legends of the First Empire, and for me it's just fine. Like, I don't think it's bad, I don't hate it, but I think it's just fine. But I only have 2 books left, and because I do want to read the series that comes after this one as well, I am going to finish that. But again, it's not dread, it's not a hate read. It's just, they're fine, and then they're not great. So it just doesn't have Royce and Hadrian, and it didn't quite have the same charm for me. But anyway, I do plan on finishing those up. I have a couple Jack Carr Terminal List books that I haven't finished yet that I would love to get to, because I really enjoyed the first 3 that I read. And also a couple of new releases that are going to, continue open-ended series that I have are Legend of the Forgotten Warrior by Larry Correia. I've been talking about this series for like 2 years now. I really, really like that series. And the fourth book of that one is coming out. And also the next book in the Ember Blade series I'm very excited about. I really liked The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. And the next book is coming out in 2023. So those will be things that I'm kind of moving forward with. I also didn't mention any Stephen King books on my standalone video because I don't anticipate that being the only standalones I read. Those are just the ones that I'm like committing to hardcore. And to me, Stephen King is in his own category because I'm never going to not read Stephen King. So a few I have written down that I really want to make priority to get to because I have not read them yet are Needful Things, 4 Past Midnight, Dr. Sleep, Under the Dome, and Gerald's Game. So those are the ones I would like to prioritize and get to sooner rather than later. But like I said, Stephen King doesn't need a special list because I'm always going to be reading Stephen King books. All right, let's talk for a minute about channel goals. So I have told you guys so many times before that I do this just for fun. I do it as a hobby, and what a great hobby it has been. I get out of it so much more than I put into it, I feel like, most of the time. And it's just been a blessing for me. You guys have always been so welcoming, the BookTube community and my viewers, and then the comments, always offering me great constructive feedback and encouragement. I have just been so warmly welcomed, and I appreciate every single one of you. So I feel like my goals are met because I'm getting exactly what I wanted out of this experience. But as far as like, trackable things and stuff like that goes, I'm still just amazed and grateful that I have as many subscribers as I do. But if I want to push myself a little bit, then I would like to say that at this time next year, I think it would be really, really cool to have 3,000 subs. And even just saying that number sounds silly, so we'll see what happens. But I would think that number is like very, very cool and just more than I could have ever hoped for. But I know that the way to get to a goal like 3,000 subs is going to be me posting content consistently and posting content that people like to see and keeps people around. So I would like to work on the channel. I would like to post more consistently, and I'm not exactly sure what that will look for me. Maybe it'll be one video a week, but honestly, one video a week is better consistency than I do sometimes. I usually put out at least 4 to 5 videos a month, but they're not always consistently timed out, and things like that matter in the algorithm. I would like to get to a point where I'm doing 2 videos a week, though, that come out at regularly scheduled times. That would be the ultimate goal. But I'm not really sure what my life is going to look like for the next couple months. As most of you know, I lost my job in September and really spent the next several months getting my kids situated at a new school, and then Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas. I've just been in major mom mode. But as we're transitioning to a new year, I'm starting to think, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? I have decisions to make about job or school or, just leaning into the whole stay-at-home mom thing. I don't know what that's going to look like. So whatever I do next with my personal life is going to obviously impact what my channel looks like. But regardless of how many videos I put out a week, I would like to be more consistent with my uploads and continue to get better. I would like to learn new things when it comes to editing and, my lighting and stuff like that. I want to make good videos for you guys. So that's a goal I have. I've been saying this for a while now, but I do still mean it. But I would like to make more actual book reviews. I really love the book reviews that I've made, even though I feel so clumsy when I'm recording them, and I never feel like I said exactly what I wanted to say or said it how I wanted to say it. By the time it's all said and done, I do like the videos that I make when I'm reviewing books, and you guys always give me such great feedback that it does make me want to make more of them. So now that I have a format that I'm pretty comfortable with, I'd like to put out more quantity when it comes to book reviews. Because that could be if I'm doing 2 a week, I could do one that's a book review and then one that's just something else, like a tag video or, one of my wrap-up videos or something like that. So I would like to get into that rhythm of being a little more equal when it comes to actually talking about books that I've read and then just kind of chatting with you guys about things I like and what I've been up to. One thing that I've been really fortunate to be a part of this year is a lot of different collaborations and panels and stuff like that, and I absolutely love that. So a goal would be to be on more of those kinds of things because it makes me happy. It's a combination of my favorite things, talking about books and making new friends, because I always seem to be on a panel with somebody that I haven't met yet, or I've admired from afar, or I really enjoy their content, or, I know someone else who knows them, but I've never got to be on a video with them yet. I love that, and I find it to be so fun. So keep inviting me, and I'm not sure my setup is ideal for really hosting a lot of live stuff, but I'm going to look into it because I'd like to be a part of that as well. One thing I think I did really well in 2022 was kind of keeping my series under control, and if I started a trilogy, trying to either read them all together or in the course of a month or two, and not starting things that were like way too big to take on. And that's made it to where carrying over to 2023 is pretty tidy, and I don't have a lot of open series, and I really like that. So I'm going to kind of continue that thought process of not dragging something out over a whole year and trying to wrap things up sooner rather than later, because it really does feel like you have a lot more freedom when you do that. So like I said, I'm never ever going to not do buddy reads or not do read-alongs, but I am going to stick to not letting them dominate my schedule. Another thing I'm excited about, and I've been doing for the latter half of this year, and it's worked really well, is just, really being open to mood reading. And of course I'm going to make TBRs. I love making plans. I love making lists. That's half of the fun for me, is thinking about the future. But in the moment, allowing myself to just have some wiggle room, or say, I think I'm going to pass on that actually. It's working really well, and I want to do more of that moving on to next year. As far as personal goals go, I'm not much of a New Year's resolution person, but I do like to have something to show at the end of the year, something I obtained. So I do want to make some decisions, like I said earlier, when it comes to my job and my personal life. I want to make some decisions. I want to have some direction. I don't do very well just left to my own devices. I don't like feeling unproductive. I like to contribute. So I want to make some decisions when it comes to my personal life and my job. As far as weight goes, you guys, I'm kind of tired of messing with that. I think it's important to be healthy, obviously. I want to take good care of my body. I want to, be active and available for my children. But I think I'm just going to kind of lean into, this is it. This is it. I'm not going to overthink the whole weight thing anymore. And maybe that's the resolution, is to not obsess and just lean into it. This is what you look like. Be healthy, be beautiful, be available, but maybe stop the whole yo-yo self-hatred dieting lifestyle. It is not working out for you. So maybe that is the goal, is to just brush it to the side. And always, we love to travel, so I'm always looking for new reasons to visit new places, try new things, meet new people. So the goal is to travel more in 2023, and that's always the goal. So I don't know what 2023 is going to look like, but these are my hopes and dreams. This is my vision, and I'm just so glad that you guys are going to be there with me, and we're going to read together, and we're going to do life, and hopefully have a really beautiful year next year. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next year.